You sit down to pray. For a moment, the world finally goes quiet. No noise, no distractions, just you and God. You try to focus, to be sincere, to connect. And then, out of nowhere, a thought hits you, loud, sharp, unwanted. Maybe it's a doubt. Is any of this even real? Maybe it's a question. Am I just talking to myself? Or maybe it's something worse, something dark, something you would never choose to think, something that shocks you the moment it appears. And instantly, everything changes. Your peace disappears, your chest tightens. Guilt rushes in like a wave, but deeper than guilt, there's fear, real fear. You start thinking, what kind of person has thoughts like this? A real believer wouldn't think this way. If my faith was genuine, this wouldn't be happening. And just like that, your mind begins to spiral. You question everything, your faith, your intentions, even your identity. You assume that because the thought showed up, it must belong to you, that it must reflect who you really are. But that assumption is where the real mistake begins. Because not every thought that enters your mind comes from you. There is a difference, a very important one, between a thought appearing and a thought being accepted. Just because something shows up in your mind doesn't mean you chose it. It doesn't mean you agree with it, and it definitely doesn't define you. Some thoughts are like uninvited guests. They don't knock, they don't ask permission, they just walk in. And this can happen for many reasons. Sometimes it's stress, sometimes it's anxiety, sometimes it's patterns your brain has developed over time. And yes, sometimes it can even feel spiritual. But here's the truth that brings clarity. It doesn't matter where the thought came from. The way you respond to it is what matters most. Think of your mind like a screen. You're focused on something good, something meaningful, and suddenly an unwanted image or idea flashes across it. You didn't search for it, you didn't invite it, it just appeared. In everyday life, you wouldn't panic over that. You'd close it, ignore it, move on. But when it comes to your inner world, you do the opposite. You stop, you stare, you analyze, you try to figure out why it's there. And the more attention you give it, the stronger it feels. But attention is exactly what gives these thoughts power. The truth is simple. A thought only grows when you feed it. You don't need to fight every thought. You don't need to understand every thought. Sometimes the strongest response is simply to let it pass without giving it meaning. Having a disturbing thought doesn't make you a bad person. In fact, the way you react to it often reveals the opposite. If a thought bothers you, if it makes you uncomfortable, if you feel resistance toward it, that's a sign that it goes against who you truly are. Your reaction is evidence of your values. So instead of using these moments to judge yourself, start seeing them differently. See them as noise, not truth. Now, how do you deal with it when it happens again? First, stop trying to argue with every thought. When your mind throws something negative at you, your instinct is to push back emotionally, to prove it wrong, to defend yourself. But this usually turns into a loop. The more you engage, the deeper you get stuck. You don't need to debate every thought. You don't need to win an argument inside your head. Sometimes the best response is no response at all. Let it come, let it go. Second, stop measuring your peace by how quiet your mind is. A calm mind is not always a sign of strength, and a noisy mind is not a sign of failure. Peace is the absence of thoughts. It's the ability to remain grounded despite them. You can have chaos in your mind and still have stability in your heart. You can feel anxious and still be okay. You can struggle and still be strong. So when your mind feels like a storm, don't assume something is wrong with you. Storms pass. They always do. And finally, make a decision about how you will respond moving forward.
not based on emotion, but on intention. The next time a thought appears that shakes you, don't panic. Don't attach meaning to it. Don't let it define you. Instead, remind yourself, this is just a thought. It is not who I am. Let it pass like a cloud in the sky. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to hold on to it. It will leave the same way it came, on its own. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who observes them, and that means you have more control than you think. So stand firm in that truth. No matter how loud the noise gets, it doesn't have the power to decide who you are.